Hi, my name is Robin Wong. I'm a photographer based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I have with me the Boya BY-XM6-S2 Mini microphones. I want to talk about my experience using these wireless microphones in this video. Let's do this! Before we dive in, here are some important disclaimers. Boya did contact me and they sent me these wireless microphones for testing and review purposes. I get to keep these wireless microphones. However, I made it very clear to Boya from the start that I'm free to say whatever I want, they have no control over this content, and I'm free to share my honest opinion using this product. I am not an audio expert, so I'm not going to dive into the technical details on how this microphone performs. All I can do is to share my experience as a content creator. Also, the audio that you're hearing from this video from the start all the way until the end, they are all recorded solely on this Boya BY-XM6-S2 Mini microphones. Over the years, I've received many requests from different companies to review their products, ranging from tripods, magnetic filters, manual focusing lenses, as well as wireless microphones. I have rejected all of them. And the only reason I said yes to this Boya's wireless microphone is because it is really tiny. I'm genuinely curious to see how well this performs being so small. It is only about half the size of some other popular alternatives out there. This Boya BY-XM6-S2 Mini, that's quite a mouthful. I'm just going to say XM6 Mini from now onward. This XM6 Mini that I got came with 2 sets of transmitters. I think that's very important because sometimes I have another person in my video. I can just clip one of these microphones on each person and I can record the audio separately. That's so much efficient for me to edit in post. Now this transmitter unit, they are so tiny. It is about the size of one Lego figure. That's how small it is. And I treasure the fact that it is so light. It weighs only about 14 grams. And when I clip it on my shirt, it doesn't drag the shirt down like some other microphone from other brands, which can look really ugly. I really love the minimalist design on these transmitters. It is all black. There's only 3 buttons on it. The on, off or mute button, and then there's the plus minus volume button, and that's it. And I like the fact that these buttons, they're somewhat recessed so that you don't get to accidentally press them without knowing it. This transmitter also comes with the windshield or the dead cat, the furry thing which you can attach to protect these microphones from wind if you're shooting in a windy condition, and it can also prevent from plosives if you put the microphones too close to your mouth. The microphone receiver unit itself is quite large. It is about twice the size of the transmitters, but that doesn't really matter because I attached the receiver on the camera permanently. The receiver has consistently minimalist design. It has only 3 buttons, the on, off or mute button, as well as the plus and minus volume button. On the receiver, there is a display. It is an OLED display which shows some information on connection stability, the mute or the volume levels, as well as the audio monitoring for left and right channel. Do bear in mind that the OLED display is quite dim. It may be difficult to see. It is barely visible under these sunny, bright conditions. Then there are 2 outputs on the receiver, one which feeds the audio out straight into the camera that you're recording on, or smartphones, depending on which cable that you're using, and the other output is headphones monitoring. Both the transmitter and the receiver, the units, they are made of fully plastic, but they are very well constructed, they're very well built, there's no creaky parts. When I held them, when I used them, it feels really solid in hand, it feels really reassuring. To set up and use these microphones, it is very easy. All you have to do is just long press the power buttons on the receiver as well as the transmitter. You just wait for a few seconds and they automatically connect and pair to each other. And that's it, you're ready to go. For these testing purposes, I did not tinker with the settings. There's nothing to tinker. I did not change the recording levels. I leave the recording levels on the microphone to default. Even the camera's recording level, the camera settings is also default. So whatever you hear, the sound that is coming out from these microphones, from this video, it is actually straight out of camera with zero processing. Now let's get on to the more interesting part, the audio test. To test the audio quality of these microphone recordings, I'm going to show you in a few different environments. The first one here, outdoor. It's not exactly too quiet, but it's quiet enough. We do hear some background noise. There's the train station nearby. You do hear some people chattering in the background. There's the bird chirping. Maybe I see a cat in front of me. Maybe the cat will meow. You do get to hear a little bit of background noise, but it is quiet enough for me to do most of my content here. And this location is where I do most of my videos in this YouTube channel. This is a typical location where I think will represent most of where people will use these microphones at recording their videos. I am now at the roadside. This is possibly the worst case scenario where there's like trucks, buses, motorcycle passing by. I'm sure you can hear the noise. Let's see how this microphone performs in this really noisy situation. I expect that you can still hear all the background noise, but at the same time, you can still hear my conversation or my voice quite clearly. And that's the most important thing, because the transmitter or the microphone itself is placed very near my mouth. It should be able to pick out my voice very, very clearly. Unfortunately, of course, it's not able to just isolate the sound, everything, because the background is really loud. There's just a train passing by in front of me, with all the cars passing by in the road. It is a really, really noisy situation. But hey, as long as my voice can still be heard and my conversation is clear, I think that's all that matters. In my previous microphone test, a lot of people complained that, hey, you know what, why didn't you do this test indoor where it is completely quiet? How can we judge the sound quality of the microphone if there's actually some background noise? So here I am in my glorious bedroom. This is like a mini studio environment where there's no other sound except my own voice recorded by these Boya wireless microphones. I personally think that the sound quality from these microphones, they're okay. They're not the best in the market. They're not even on a professional level quality. My own wireless microphone, the Sennheiser, which I use to record most of my videos, you can check out my other videos. The sound from the Sennheiser lavalier microphone, that's definitely much better than what I get from this Boya budget wireless microphone, but I'm not complaining. It is what it is. It is a budget setup, and for what it is, I think the sound quality is actually very, very good. I will say it is above average. I think my sound is quite clear. There's some depth to it. I can still capture some weight to my voice, and it somehow flatters my voice really well. Of course, in terms of clarity, in terms of how good the sound is, it is not there on a professional level, but like I said, I am not complaining. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this microphone quality. This is straight out of the camera. There's no editing whatsoever. Of course, if I do a little bit of processing, I can improve the clarity a little bit, but hey, I'm not gonna do that. We'll see. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I've been using this Boya BY-XM6 Mini wireless microphones for more than 2 weeks now, recording about 5 different videos, and the connection has always been strong. I've never encountered any issues whatsoever. There was no lag, no audio dropout. All the videos that I've recorded, the audio connection has always been very consistent, reliable. I have no issue whatsoever. And that's what I expect from this particular microphone. It's rated to about 100 meters transmission distance. I wouldn't push it that far. The most was probably about 10-20 meters away, and I'm usually very close to the camera or where the receiver is. And of course, I make sure that there's nothing in between the transmitter and receiver. There's no blocking or obstacles. It's just direct line of sight. And that's what I expect. I just turn on the wireless microphones and they just work. The only drawback that I can think of using these microphones is battery life. Being so tiny, the transmitter only has about rated 4.5 hours battery. I didn't kill the battery, I didn't use it for 4 hours. Actually, this is more than what I need. It is more than sufficient for my recording sessions, but I understand that if you have a full day recording or if you're recording continuously in a session, 4.5 hours may be quite limited. There are other offerings out there that can give you about 7 to 8 hours on a single charge, but hey, these microphones are also a lot larger, and if battery life is a concern to you, if you think that you need more battery, then of course go for these larger offerings, and of course they're more expensive. And this XM6 Mini, the selling point is being so tiny, so of course there's going to be some compromise, and I can live with it. And to be fair, I'm only one person crew. For most of my video, I'm the only one speaking, so if I finish the battery on one transmitter, I have another one as a backup. Having used this Boya BY-XM6-S2 Mini wireless microphones extensively, I gotta say I quite enjoy using them. I love the minimalist design, and I really like that the transmitters are so tiny. It is so light, yet it just works. I just turn them on and they work. I love how easy and how simple it is to operate. The connection has always been stable, and I also quite like the audio quality coming from these microphones. The only drawback I can think of is battery life, but even so, that's more than sufficient for what I need for my content creation. If you have actually used this Boya SM6 Mini before, do share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with my findings, or are there any other issues that I've missed? Maybe I'll learn something from you. Let me know in the comments below. That's all I have to share about this Boya BY-XM6-S2 Mini user experience review. If you found my sharing beneficial, please consider buying me a cup of coffee, or you can contribute directly to my PayPal. Links in the description below on how you can do that. Any small contribution goes a long way, will definitely help me to continue making more content and publish them right here. And remember to go out and take more photographs. Bye-bye.